My name is Reeti Sahai. I am an entrepreneur, founder of a running community called Run with Reeti, dog mom, marathoner, avid traveler, trekker, mountaineer. I guess that's where I'm stopping for now.
What do you think that reflects in how you dress yourself today?
100%. You know, it's who I am. I think being a whole lot mindful about not having 20,000 expensive designer wear lehengas. And it's fine, it's their opinion. I don't let it bother myself.
Yeah.
For me, it's very clear. I have it, I'm going to flaunt it.
Isn't that dress a little too short?
Also, I say sometimes, we've got 2 years. You know what I mean? एक कान से सुनो, दूसरे कान से निकाल दो.
Hi guys, for today's podcast I have a very interesting guest joining us. I have Reeti Sahai in a super fun conversation on her journey from the corporate life to a runner's life, importance of looking after yourself and how she enjoys fashion on her own terms. Let's get into it. I'm so excited that you're here today. One of the reasons we started this podcast, I don't know if I told you, was with the intent of bringing different perspectives. Okay, we wanted people of different backgrounds, different lifestyle choices to come give their opinions on how they view fashion. And I'm really excited because I think you're going to have some really cool perspectives. Okay?
As long as we have fun.
As long as we have fun, and I have no doubt about that. So I'm really excited for this. So for everybody who does not know you, why don't you give a quick introduction on yourself?
All right, my name is Reeti Sahai. I am an entrepreneur, founder of a running community called Run with Reeti, dog mom, marathoner, avid traveler, trekker, mountaineer. I guess that's where I'm stopping for now. And you'll also discover a lot of me as we chat today.
Yeah.
And of course, I love living every moment. So that's really me, as short as it can be.
So if you were to pick 3 things, what would be the 3 things that you do that sort of put you in a nutshell out of everything that you described?
Running.
Okay.
Business. Dog mom.
Okay, I think dog mom is 100% the highlight of that. Okay, so before you started running, my understanding is you were part of the corporate life.
Yes.
So what did you do before this?
So I was a soft skill trainer, a behavioral trainer with the corporate world.
Okay.
And I worked for an ITES firm for over a decade.
Oh wow. And at the time you were not into running, or at the time also you were a runner?
I was into fitness.
Okay.
So I was a gym rat those days.
Okay.
But not really into running.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you make the switch from corporate life to the running life?
I think I quit the corporate world one fine day when it had been a while that I was there, and while I was thoroughly enjoying the journey, there was also something I felt was amiss.
Okay.
Of course, there was enough and immense gratification at the end of every workshop I took, but there was something amiss every day. I'd go back home and I'd be like, there's something that I'm missing in life.
Okay.
I think which was most importantly my time, whether it was in the gym, whether it was running, whether it was, at the animal shelter.
Okay.
It was that my time, my me time, which I wasn't getting, because in the corporate world, while they say it's a 9 to 5, it's literally a 8 to 8.
Yeah.
So I'd get home literally crabby every single day, and I'd be like, what am I doing in life? So I just decided to put in my papers, and I said, you know what, we'll see what happens tomorrow, but I've got to be in a happier space.
Okay.
And don't get me wrong, I loved the corporate life. It was thoroughly enjoyable. I learned a lot, but I just had to give it up because I wanted to operate a lot more in my happy space than just doing what I did for an X amount of money that I got at the end of the month.
So at what age did you have this epiphany where you're just like, it's not filling my cup?
I think I was just about 30 years old.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, I have 3 years to make that decision. That is fine. Okay, so there was not anything specific that completely switched you into running. I think you just wanted me time, and that's how you got into the whole running aspect of it.
So actually, to be honest, it did start when I was in the corporate world.
Okay.
Like I said, because I wasn't getting time to hit the gym or pursue any other fitness activity, which was an integral part of me.
Yeah.
I started carrying a pair of running shoes because you know how it is. You start reading, you're obviously fairly aware of what else you can do, and I'd actually make use of my lunch break or any other time that I had at work. And, just wear my running shoes and do a 1K, 2K and come back. So that's really how it started.
Okay.
And then one fine day we had the Delhi 7K run, which is called I think it's called the Delhi 7K, which is part of the Airtel Delhi Half Marathon.
Okay.
And thankfully, the then CEO of our company was a marathoner as well. And he suddenly one fine day said, you know what, I'm going to insure the entire entire company runs.
Oh, wow.
You all have to do the 7K. Whether you walk, jog, crawl it, the company is sponsoring you guys, because if it's a fit company, it's fit mind, it's fit everything, right?
Yeah.
And that really was, so I went for the 7K and I was only happy about it. I said, oh my God, wow, there you go, I get the push.
Yeah.
And there was no looking back.
Wow.
That's really how running happened.
Okay. So started as a runner. How did you make that switch to opening Run with Reeti? Because being a runner is one thing, I think, you can do it as a passion, but to have a fleet of people that are getting up in the morning at 4, 5, following you, running around Noida, running around Delhi, I think that's a completely different ball game. So how did that transition happen?
So, like I said, after I quit, I was obviously running a lot more. So it started like 5Ks to 10Ks to half marathons.
Yeah.
And today I run a marathon distance. But while I started long distance running after quitting the corporate world, I also was part of a lot of communities that are brand led, brand owned.
Okay.
And I was also the captain for one of, a leading brand for a couple of years, which has a global running community.
Okay.
So, that's where the entire concept of a community running came into being. And I quite thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And that was not going to be life, obviously, forever.
Yeah.
So when I moved on, a lot of people that ran with me said, we didn't run with the brand, we ran with you, Reeti.
Wow.
So how about starting something on your own?
Yeah.
And I did think about it after I quit, because I did take a 1-month break after I actually quit the community. I went home, I went to the hills to my parents.
Yeah.
And I said, it's so true. Maybe I want to go back and start something like this, because running has given me something that nothing has given me in life. I want to be able to give back to the running fraternity.
Yeah.
I want to be able to give back to running. And I also want a lot of other people experience the joy of running, what it's done to me.
And share your story, and I think at the same time it's inspiring people to do what you've done and to, I think, achieve certain level of fitness and running at a certain age. And a lot of people think that maybe they're not able to do after a certain point. So
Absolutely.
I think you stand as an example for that a lot.
Yeah, so the community is open to any and everybody, like you rightly said, So the idea is people, I want people to look at me running and say, oh, it's so much fun, I want to start running. It doesn't matter how old you are, what shape size you are, how many years into life you are, where you come from. So we have, like I said, moms, homemakers, CEOs, drivers, any and everybody that come run with us. We're all equal when we're running together,
That's great.
And it's also amazing that there are times we're actually conversing apart from running.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised to not know what the X person does, and I've been running with him for 2 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter where you come from.
Yeah.
We're a runner. We're all runners when we're running together.
Yeah.
So that's really, so it was just a passion. It was just something that, and also I must say that I wanted a lot more women to come into sport. Because when I was running or leading this community, I did see that it was a struggle for women today.
It is.
Irrespective, to make that choice, especially after you're married or you have a career or you have a child, to convince people at home or tell them that, listen, I need to go and run, it's my time.
Yeah. And I need to do this to look after myself.
Yeah.
And I think to lead that by example is hard to find, because sometimes a lot of people find that passion, they're like, what, I want to do this. But I think when they see somebody a peer or somebody who's maybe even more ahead in life doing that, I think it is much easier to push yourself and being like, if she can do it, if he can do it, I can do it. And I think when you set that as a community, it
does help, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not just about that person, operating in her happy space or doing it for herself.
Yeah.
I feel that if you enjoy doing it and you come, you actually go back and you're happier with everybody around you as well.
That's true.
Whether it's anybody.
Yeah.
So I think you're just in a happier space.
Yeah. So tell me, how many marathons now do you run in a year, or what has been your sort of peak?
So this was 2022 when I actually ran 2 marathons back to back, literally, one Sunday to another. And today when I look back, I'm like, oh my God, how could I do that? I am proud of myself. And I actually look back and say, can I ever do it again? You know what I mean? So it was London Marathon on a Sunday in London, and then I flew to Chicago and I ran Chicago the next Sunday. And it was also my personal record, my fastest marathon. So that's really something that is a highlight of my running career so far.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know if this is like asking between your children, but what has been your favorite marathon so far?
I've run World Major so far, and a couple others, but I think every marathon is special in its own way.
I know.
They're as hard, they're as grueling, and you learn from each marathon, and you're a changed person after every finish line. You know what I mean? But if I really have to pick one, I would say special and also brutal was the recent Boston Marathon that I ran, my second Boston.
Okay.
it was life-changing.
Yeah. Which was like, what, a month ago now?
Just about a month ago.
Yeah.
15th April. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was crazy hard.
Yeah.
And I've run it before. So, it's like saying, you run that course, but
and how hard it's going to be, but you're like,
oh God, it beat all records. Still, it was crazy. It was just crazy. But will I run it again? Yes. Hell yes.
Okay. So outside of running, what are some other passions that you have that you'd like to talk about?
So I'm a dog mom and I'm an animal lover.
Yeah.
So I actually spend a lot of time rescuing, feeding strays, working at an animal shelter, some of my time. And I keep doing a lot of work in the animal welfare space. So for example, outside my house, there are lots of dogs that have adopted us and I feed them. Yeah. Where I run, in all the places that we have our sessions, there are approximately 10 dogs each that I take care of.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Even under the salon in Vasant Vihar, by the way.
No, really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
For many years.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy,
so
but it's true.
everywhere you go, you've sort of ensured that the street dogs and everybody is well taken care of.
I try. I mean, it's my happy space again, I feel that they can't talk and the least I can do is do my little bit.
Yeah. No, of course. And I think you've also had a bunch of initiatives when it comes to, like, I think right now with the heat in Delhi, which is disgusting because it's like 50 degrees and above. You're going out and giving and making sure your community is also helping the strays get some dahi and get some, something cool to help them with the heat also. And then, of course, at the same time, have some food in the system. So that is incredible. That is something that you do. Now, my question is getting into the fashion aspect of it. Of course, you look after yourself, you're into health and fitness a lot. Do you think that reflects in how you dress yourself today or how comfortable you are in your skin today?
100%. I think it's all intertwined.
Yeah.
And I would say fashion is, is a self-expression of who I am.
Yeah.
So donning confidence, my inner strength.
Yeah.
It's who I am. It's like embracing.
You enjoy fashion.
Yeah. I mean, and I would say fashion is not just what I'm wearing. Fashion is also in the sky. It's in everything. You know what I mean? So it's a great. I don't know. I mean, it's something that we use. To portray who we are. Like I said, it's who I am.
Yeah.
It's not just about the clothes I wear, but it's how I carry myself in the clothes I wear.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
So this is something my team and I have also discussed. I think you are absolutely fearless with your fashion. And I've told you this, I'd like to be this when I grow up. I think I want to be somebody who dresses the way she likes, is thinking about herself and not about people around us. And I think being in India, you are faced with a little bit more judgment and criticism. I think people care more about other people than they do in the Western world, is what I have experienced so far. So do you think with your fashion, you've ever received judgment from people?
Of course I have. I think it also takes lots of, or every kind of person to make this beautiful world,
Yeah.
And it's fine. It's their opinion. I don't let it bother myself.
Yeah.
For me, it's very clear. I have it. I'm going to flaunt it.
Okay.
Yeah. And like I said, it's the confidence, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I carry what I wear, and I am very particular about, if I like to wear it, I will wear it. It doesn't matter how old I am. Of course, I mean, I think the other thing that really matters, and I do think about, is where am I headed? You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
I wouldn't wear like a really short pair of shorts and...
No, correct. But you're making your own judgment calls, which is what it comes out. If you've made a judgment call that this is a place I'm comfortable wearing shorts, or this is a place I'm comfortable wearing a short dress, you don't let other people's opinion of maybe for them it is not get to you or your head.
Yeah, I think it's also about the confidence. I feel I can carry it. You know what I mean?
And you can.
Yeah. The other thing is, I feel, people will talk irrespective. I also, the other way of looking at it is that, there's something right you're doing that people are talking about you. Exactly.
I agree with that.
So I just say, that I think look after yourselves.
Yeah.
It's important, let's talk about our bodies. Very, very important. The only place we have to live in. So
absolutely.
Everything else falls in place.
Yeah.
So I guess,
What about if it's a friend who's saying it out of concern? I think one thing for me, at least when strangers talk, it is less bothersome.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't even know me. I don't care to please you. But when somebody who's a close, dear friend of mine who maybe out of concern is saying something to me, but I've already made a judgment call of that, listen, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Now I almost feel like you're second guessing me. That's when at least it gets to me. I don't know if you've had a similar experience.
Of course. At times I do. I just listen to the person, I'd be a good listener, give it a year, and that's about it. I'll still wear it. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I also feel and tell the person that if you're a true friend and vice versa, and you understand me, that's Reeti, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good, bad, ugly, I'm going to be a flag bearer.
Yeah.
And it's fine to even share a concern or how you feel at times.
I agree with that. But I think there's a way of talking about it, right? Like you can be like, hey, are you sure? Maybe, and sometimes maybe I'm having a faux pas kind of a moment and I need somebody to tell me, hey, listen.
Absolutely.
100% need a friend like that. But there's one friend to be like, like watch it, be careful. And there's another one like, isn't that dress a little too short?
Yeah.
And then when somebody comes and says that to me, all of a sudden I'm also a little taken aback. I'm like, I've made a decision.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm happy. I'm feeling myself. And like, enjoy the clothes we're in today, like just live life.
Yeah, also I say sometimes we've got 2 years, you know what I mean? Ek kaan se suno, dusre kaan se nikal do. But I don't want to upset the other person also at times.
Yeah.
So just be a good listener, and of course maybe she's coming from a place of genuine concern for whatever reason, right?
Yeah.
But
he or she,
I mean that's exactly it. But so just deal with it in a mature manner. That's about it. But I'll still wear what I want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any specific silhouettes you get concerns about?
Yeah, the lesser clothes.
Yeah.
You know what? And I love wearing less clothes. Yeah, I love it. The shorter the better.
I agree.
The lesser the better. The hotter. Why not?
Yeah, like you rightly said, if you have it, flaunt it. So
you got it. You got to flaunt it.
Okay, but do you have a preference between Western clothes and Indian clothes, or do you have a moment for each?
No, I love Indian clothes on me. I think I carry them off pretty well.
Yeah.
But when I do wear Indian or I want to wear Indian, I want to dress it up. You know what I mean? Like I want to wear my chudis with it. I want to do makeup with it. I want my bindi with it. I want kolhapuris with it, depending on the occasion.
Correct.
So I just feel that, and I think nothing like a 6 yards, right? A sari is a sari. I mean, elegance personified.
Yeah.
So given a choice, I'd love to wear it every day. Even the dhoti style looks lovely with kolhapuri chappals. But I just feel it's a little tedious. With my kind of life, I'm a tomboy, literally. I'm all over the place at times.
I think you can do a combination of all. I think that's the beauty of it. I think when you want, you can be a tomboy. When you want, you can dress sexy. When you want, you can be like traditional in a sari. So like,
so
joys of being a woman.
True that. So, but mostly I think Western for me. You know, mostly because it's just easy to slip in and slip out of it. That's it. Nothing else.
Okay.
And if you ask me, what would I like to continue living in or be in? Running shorts.
Yeah.
You'll only find me in those. Given a choice. There are times people at home have to tell me, listen, hello, don't you have other clothes? Like,
but I don't
do you have a wardrobe?
And
I'm like, okay.
I have a wardrobe, excuse me, but I just like this. Okay, that's fair. So you also recently, like you said, you love to dress up. You recently borrowed a garment from Nostringscouture for a fairly lavish wedding. And if I'm being honest, I did not expect you to be able to disclose that, it is a garment from a luxury rental platform, let alone you not only disclosing, but also creating content for us and, telling people that, this is where it's from and talking about your experience. So tell us what was your experience like with Nostringscouture?
I think it was absolutely fabulous and I'm going to continue doing that. Okay. I mean, imagine I could actually don an outfit that I resonated with, which was a designer wear, which I don't think I wanted to spend so much money for one outfit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We guys don't like to repeat our clothes too often, especially because it's on the gram.
Yeah.
And so I totally, completely loved wearing it and getting it for a very reasonable price. And the entire experience was seamless. I mean, it was, all I had to do was a phone call and it came to my doorstep. I could choose from what I wanted.
Yeah.
I think it was just fantastic. And also I think we're moving to a time where circular fashion, being aesthetic is one, which is important, I feel, but also, I think being a whole lot mindful about not having 20,000 expensive designer wear lehengas, owning them, I feel. So I think that's where we're also, fashion is leading there as well. So I think it was brilliant. Yeah. And I will continue to come to you and get all my outfits from you and flaunt them, of course.
Yeah, no, but you're right. I think nowadays we are 100% spoiled for choice also.
Yes.
I think pricing is one part of it and maybe a lot of people can afford it.
Yeah.
But you you are spoiled for choice so much, you want the next best thing all the time. And there are so many designers coming out with so many collections, multiple collections a year, right? So you see it and you might have something really nice in your wardrobe that you potentially wanted, but you see the next best thing and you're like, but now I want that. And then I want that. So a lot of times outside of the monetary constraint, it becomes around like, but how much are you going to keep in your closet? And what are you going to do with it? Right? So that was a really big aspect of why I started it. And it's great to get this positive feedback from you, because my concern was, or at least a lot of hesitation I anticipated, was people from not my generation but ahead of me not being wanting to disclose that, you know, it is a rental garment. Because I think for my peers, it could be a bragging point. You know, people are like, I'm wearing Seema Gujarat peanuts. I'm paying 15,000 for, you know, something that's over a lakh. So, you know, like it can almost be a bragging thing. But I think as you get older, not only do people not want to talk about price points, but they also don't want to disclose that maybe it is rented and maybe it is that.
But I think that mindset will also evolve. You know what I mean? Times are changing. And like I said, fashion is changing too. You know what I mean? The industry is taking a
100%.
So I think it will, and people will open up. I feel there's no harm. You know?
Absolutely.
I mean, I also borrow clothes from very close friends and vice versa. You know, for the next occasion once in a while. I think it's fine. I mean, why would I want to, like you rightly said, you know, use that extra space for extra clothes when we're the same size, we're close friends once in a while. Makes sense for a few things once in a while. I think it's fine.
I love that, because it has to be fine now that you've done this. So my second last question is basically you saying, of course, you understand that the world is changing. Of course, you disclose that you borrowed a garment from nostringscouture, but tomorrow you are not somebody who hesitates in telling people where you get stuff from, be it thrifted, be it secondhand, be it pre-loved, be it rental. You're like cool in disclosing. You do not think there is any apprehension, or it's not something you think twice about before you tell people this. Okay, that's great. So if you had to define your personal style in 3 words, what are some key things you look at when you pick clothes for yourself for a regular day or for special occasions?
Comfort, fit, color.
Like a pop of color?
I love color. And you know, there was a time I used to just be a black girl, black or white. And I don't know what happened. Suddenly it changed, and now I'm a color person. I probably have to look for black in my wardrobe.
Oh, really?
But don't get me wrong, I love black. Even today,
it looks really nice.
And I think you can't go wrong with black. You know what? Black's always in fashion. And the LBD. But I guess now I'm all about color. You see this?
I think come summer, something happens, and I want, like, you know, these vibrant colors. Like I was always the black and white girl myself also, but recently I've seen myself pick a red dress, or I'll pick a green dress, and my dad has been shopping with me, let's say 2 times. One time he saw me pick black and white and he's like, have you seen what you picked up? And now he saw me pick up, he's like, don't you want some neutrals? So
I think for me it was midlife crisis, probably. I don't know, but I just changed the color.
For me then, I don't know what happened.
No, wear everything. All colors look great.
I'm here to experiment with fashion. I'm very clear on that. Okay, and what do you think should be the future of fashion? How do you hope tomorrow in the future should fashion be consumed as?
I think it's going to move a lot with the technology advancements. It's going to be a lot more to do with technology, a lot of online shopping. I would say that, like I said, more aesthetically pleasing, of course, but also the fact that, you know, we'll be more mindful about the environment. We'll be more mindful about sourcing material from where we source it. You know, so things like those, it's going to change. And I think customers do like loyalty. You know what I mean? So I would want points from being loyal to NSC and stuff like that. So I think that too. But I guess circular fashion, that's what I say. I think I totally promote it. I'm for it. In fact, my sister and I were having a conversation just yesterday. I'm traveling to the US, and she said, is your shopping list ready? I said, no, I'm opening your wardrobe, taking your clothes to India. I'll leave mine behind. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, joys of having a sister.
And the same size. But I think so, it's changing to a great extent, but I think for the good, for the better.
Okay, well, awesome. Thank you so much. This is all I had for you today.
Oh my God.
Thank you for letting us pick your fashion and Rana's brain. This is exactly what I wanted to capture. And you know, you brought a definitely new perspective that I wanted to bring. So thank you so much for being a
Thank you for having me. I loved every bit. It was a fun conversation.
Yes. That was Reeti Sahai for you. Unapologetically herself, and one of the best conversations I've had so far. I hope this podcast inspired everyone to achieve whatever it is that they want. in their own way. I know I'm definitely inspired. So I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. See you soon.